Hello, friends. How are you all? Hope you are doing great at various aspects of your lives. Welcome to another book review podcast by Team ThinkerViews. Some professions require real hard work from the people doing them, but are often not recognized for the same. Salespeople are one such species. They have targets to meet and no excuses, not even genuine ones, are entertained by their superiors. In broad aspects, almost the entire world is a market, and people are trying to sell one thing or the other to the other. Well, rather than just going philosophical, let us take a realistic view of the world. Trade is possibly the next thing most humans do after survival actions. And the roots of the same are found in cave ages. The barter system was supposedly the initiation of the business. Throughout our lives, we tend to buy and sell various products and services. And if you look at the reality, it all starts before the birth of a person and even continues in after death rituals and even after that. So why we see some people are shying away from the words business or sale, and why there is a common perception that salespeople lie? Do you think that there can be an entire book written on the same? Well, Roshan L. Joseph came up with a book named Salespeople Don't Lie, where don't is strike through in the same arena. Do you believe in the saying, don't judge a book by its cover? Well, we at ThinkerViews believe in it, but at the same time, we consider the book cover an important aspect of the book. And we do recognize the impact of a book cover in positive or negative actions in terms of purchasing and or reading a specific book. We cannot deny the influence of the book cover. So let us take a look at the cover page of Salespeople Don't Lie. As you can see in the podcast cover, the cover page of this book uses the minimalistic approach. The designer makes sure that the book looks simple yet effective at first glance. As this book tends to elaborate arguments from both of the sides, people who believe that salespeople lie to match their targets and those who believe they don't. The title of the book has the word don't written as strike through, a very intelligent and thoughtful attribute. As the cover has pure white background, the text in red, purple, black and blue stands out. It is not fancy or super attractive, but decently readable. The humorous illustrations on the cover page try successfully to balance the dry and heavy topic, so a reader can expect the content not to be very academic or less interesting. Well, the cover page seems to do what is expected from it quite successfully, but does the book pass the litmus test? Let's check it in our next segment. First of all, let us make it very clear that our culture has never considered wealth or a genuine means to earn the same bed ever. While earth is considered as one of the most important aspects of the life, Lakshmi worship is the wealth goddess and Kuber is caretaker of wealth. How can we consider wealth an evil then? The means to earn the same, however, can be evil. The book starts with a consolidated preface written by Sanjeev Mehta, CEO and MD of Hindustan Unilever Limited, and I will suggest you to read it. Usually, we often skip reading forewords, afterwords, preface, acknowledgements, bibliography, etc. The most perfect way to win an argument or prove your point is to start advocating the extreme opposite to the same. and the author does it brilliantly here. It all starts with the definition of salespeople. Proceeding forward comes some interesting lines elaborating the job profile of salespeople. Quoting from the book, when selling was essential, an art practiced by a salesperson to forge relationships with customers and communicate how his product met an unmet need of consumers and was better than his competitors. While you pay attention to this simple yet effective language used in the book, you will also notice the illustrations by Ajay Joseph. They are interesting and effective. A thumbs up for the same. The author takes you to the historical times and explains the possible situations when the requirement of salespeople was first required. The incident of a girl making a specific item quite differently, how eventually the item was loved by consumers, how her life moves ahead, etc., will make you think reading a fictional story rather than a dull book talking about commerce. The author used simple language to explain the basic principles of commerce. For example, one thing is clear. You need the salesperson only if you have excess stock after the current demand has been met. It was the Industrial Revolution that really gave an impetus to the growth of the ubiquitous salesperson. Until the advent of factories, the pressure was on making more. Demand was assured. People fought to be the first to buy before it ran out. Now, quoting one more example, whenever a product is in short supply, the manufacturer becomes king and the customer is treated extremely poorly. And the author doesn't stick to just old or medieval times and examples. He cannot to talk something from a modern perspective for the people living now in the current era. The content should also be updated, right? The author thus includes some stuff that the readers will be able to connect easily. Quoting from the book, with advent of big data and analytics and the increasing use of artificial intelligence, selling will become more of a science than an art. However, in business as in life, it is not about either or. In the era of Amazon and others, is there any chance to develop the relationship side of personal selling? Or is the day of the sales team over? In this age of literature in 140 digits, does anyone care to read more? Shake a hand? Or simply drop in to have a cup of coffee? No business, please. Or is 10,000 years of a good thing too much to endure anymore? The author doesn't shy away in talking about the points which most of us think of, be it about salespeople getting international holidays paid by the company, doctors and other professionals receiving free product samples and commission, some salespeople enjoying movies and chit-chats with friends and filling in the timesheet by mentioning they are on the official visit, and so on. Here are some such lines from the book. And there are holiday tours to international locations for the doctors and their families. How objective or impartial can a doctor be after such a holiday to prescribe without an ulterior motive? Even after reaching the upcountry markets, and there are many options of being at work. Many still way after lunch to their hotel rooms for a cozy siesta or a matinee in a remote cinema hall. Who is to know? The author pinpoints towards answers as well. Product innovation plays a very important part in the health industry. When product innovation is poor, the gifting to doctor increases so as to compensate. Very few pharmaceutical companies look beyond the doctor and at the patient. The book also tries to explore the effect of the lifestyle of a salesperson on his family and social connect, which is otherwise found rarely talked about. Here is an example from the book. There were times when a salesperson set out on a tour that could last 45 days. One can hardly imagine what stress this causes to both the family and the individual. The book also talks about the way the salespeople are often making settlements with the distributors and dealers, even up to running a scam to eventually prove their worth and importance to the company they are associated with. And it is no hidden truth. A large number of such examples and scams come out at regular intervals. Quoting from the book, the word professional is loosely used today. Everyone claims to be one, a little understanding the obligations of such a tale. The creativity is expected to extend to where truth abides. When the scam is public, they take the moral high ground and punish those who get caught, at times having them sacked. Truly, the sins of seniors are atoned for by the juniors. The book talks about some realities of society in a matter-of-factly manner. Social customs have a true assessment of how a person is valued in the society. The book also conveys some business wisdom lessons as well. For example, keep bad news for the morning light and the rising sun. It beams hope. We see salespeople as target hungry, determined to sell the product or service at any cost, be it an inhuman way. Well, it is true in some cases, of course, but is it true in all the cases? The author tries talking about all the notions we have about the salespeople and the perception for them. In short, he tries to get answer for, quoting from the book, what makes selling such a toxic profession? Why is that the customer is often viewed as the enemy rather than the competition? I will also suggest you read carefully the segments talking about the principles of professional selling. So, does the book end blaming and proving that the salespeople lie? Well, the last line of the book has the answer. I have tried keeping spoilers at the bay as much as possible, but as you know, some of them are unavoidable. Anyway, the quotes we have mentioned so far must have given you a fair idea about the literary qualities and linguistics used in the book. The author has done a good research work. Well, his experience in the field must be counted as the same and provided it in the form of simple words. The book has its target readership. Actually, anyone can read it, but mostly people associated with the marketing aspects will go for it primarily. In summary, it is a nicely written, well-researched, easy to read, filled with logical arguments and reasoning, added with references where needed book, where some incidents and stories are viewed to make it a light read. The target readers will find it worth reading, but it will not appeal to the readers who don't belong to the trade sector in most of the cases. ThinkerViews rating would be around 7.5 stars out of 10 for the target readers. So, have you already read the book? Are you planning to read it? What do you think about this book review? Do you find it helpful in deciding whether to go for the book or not? Please do share your genuine remarks via comments below. If you have enjoyed listening to the review, please hit the like button and do not forget to share it with your friends and other fellows whom you think such reviews interest more. Till we meet with our next podcast, bye bye, take care, namaskar.